Folks, we are in that part of the MLB offseason where rumors and reports and stories are just running rampant across social media, and Xander Bogaerts was the star of Wednesday's show.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy December. I cannot believe it is December already. I say this every year, but this year has just absolutely flown by. Welcome to the Locked On Red Sox podcast. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. I'm your host at NESN's Lauren Willand. I am flying solo today. I'm sure Jake would love to be on this episode, but he is rightfully celebrating with some friends tonight. If you did not see his social media post, his last day with the Massachusetts Pirates was on Wednesday, and he's, like I said, out for a much-deserved celebration. So kudos to Jake. I'm so excited for his next step. He's not leaving Locked On Red Sox. Don't worry. So he will be back this week. We have another really fun episode planned for you Friday, but we are less than a week away from MLB's winter meetings. We're expecting things to heat up, or we've been told and we've been reading that things are supposed to heat up very soon. Big players who are on the market will sign with teams. Will the Red Sox make a move? That's the age-old question. We have a lot to dive into about Xander Bogaerts. Like I said, he was the star of Wednesday's show. There were just stories and rumors about him all day Wednesday. It was just Bogaerts rumor after Bogaerts rumor. But we also have to touch on Jose Abreu because he supposedly had Boston as the number one destination on his list. So we will talk about that in segment 2. But earlier this week, The Athletic's Ken Rosenthal wrote that AJ Preller, the GM of the Padres, had asked Scott Boras if Bogaerts would be willing to switch positions because they had interest in signing him. Of course, San Diego has Fernando Tatis and don't really have a spot for Bogaerts. And Bogaerts has said he's wanted to play short. He has made that clear that he wants to play short. He said, I'm a shortstop, man, earlier this year when there was talk about maybe moving him over to second or to third when he was with the Red Sox last year. But like I said, this is that time where things are going to start to get maybe a little messy and cause a little bit more anxiety with Red Sox fans. And this story kind of evolved very quickly. On Wednesday, Rosenthal said that Boras dismissed the possibility of Bogaerts changing positions, saying that Boras told him that Bogaerts is playing shortstop. Peter Gammons added to Rosenthal's article, saying on Twitter that but while one doubts Bogaerts would switch positions, in the past 3 days, front office folks from 3 different teams claim they've told he has severed ties with Boston and won't be going back. Whether that's negotiating leverage talk or reality, there's no confirmation. So the wording with Gammon's tweet here is key because other teams are claiming that Bogaerts has cut ties with Boston. Could it be true? Of course it could be true. But could this be a Scott Boras tactic where he's kind of feeding them information to kind of get the best price for Bogaerts? Yes, 100%. That is what agents do. That is what Scott Boras does. He does the very most for his clients. We know this. We've seen this every single year, not even just with Red Sox clients, but with other clients he has throughout MLB. There's a reason his clients get paid a lot of money every single year. But hopefully this is just a negotiating tactic because woo-wee, would Red Sox fans just be more pissed off than they already are? I think their emotions were all over the place on Wednesday. But then Alex Spear, the Boston Globe's Alex Spear, saved the day because he spoke to Scott Boras by phone and reported that Xander Bogaerts is indeed open to quote-unquote any and all voices in the free agent market. And Boras also told Spear that no doors have been closed on anyone. So that's a good sign. Again, everyone is saying the right things, but we'll never know until pen is to paper. Sam Kennedy also spoke Wednesday and said no doors are closed and that they've been in talks with Bogaerts. Sam Kennedy also said that he does not have the impression that Bogaerts severed ties with the teams, but all we can go by is our desire to bring him back. And Sam Kennedy then was pressed. He said, so he hasn't told you he's done talking? And Sam Kennedy said, nope. But Sam Kennedy also wouldn't say if the Red Sox will have a chance to match outside offers. There's obviously a lot of outside interest for Bogaerts. That was to be expected. But how can you sit there and say, we don't know if we can match outside offers? Yes, you can. You're the Boston Red Sox. Your payroll is it just seems like it's limitless half the time. And you're going to sit there and tell your fans who have been told for the last, it feels like the last year, but in particular the last few weeks, that Xander Bogaerts has been the number one priority. And now it's, oh, we don't know if we can match outside offers. Yes, you can. That's a crock of garbage. You absolutely can match the outside offers, because if Bogaerts truly is your number one priority, then he will match any outside offer given to him. If you are serious about making sure he's in a Red Sox uniform long term, then yeah, you're going to match the outside offer. So it's just ridiculous that I think Sam Kennedy can sit there and say that, oh, no, outside offers, I don't know. What do you mean? Yes, you absolutely can match the outside offers. It's not that you can't, it's that you don't want to. And if you don't get the chance to match the outside offers, then that's on you. Because that, to me, that says that we lowballed Bogaerts so much that he doesn't want to talk to us anymore. He doesn't even want us to match the offer, which we know that there's been reports of offers that have been sent to Bogaerts from the Red Sox. And to the surprise of no one, it's a little lower. And by a little, I mean very disrespectful. So that did not go very well on Wednesday. It started off, oh no, oh, okay, what the heck? And the biggest thing I'm clinging to is that Sam Kennedy would not say if the Red Sox have that chance to match outside offers, because that is just, no, that's not how it works. And maybe it is how it works. I don't make these decisions, but you can't say that you don't know if you can match outside offers when you're the one who makes the offer. Match it. Do better. If you want him so bad in a Red Sox uniform, do it. Keep him here. That's it. That's on you. And if he walks away, that's on you too. So I did not like that. I think this is the most pessimistic I've felt about Bogaerts returning. And this, again, maybe this is all just trying to drive up his price. 100%. I know that happens all the time. I just don't think that saying that will give Red Sox any hope, any optimism about Bogaerts returning. And then that snowballs into, well, what's your plan B? What does that mean for Devers? Because yes, there's other great shortstops on the market, Trey Turner, Carlos Correa, just to name two. But you have an established shortstop, a leader, someone who's been here his entire career, someone who likes to be here, someone who wants to be here, someone who has helped you win World Series championships, someone who is beloved by the fans, the unofficial captain. And there's a lot of talk about, oh, well, if he truly wanted to be here, he'd take a hometown discount. He already did. He did that with his latest extension. He took a very big discount to stay in Boston. We've known that this opt-out has been on the table for years now, and the Red Sox were just do what they've always done, lowball these guys and be like, well, we did our best. If you can't match an outside offer, Red Sox fans are going to burn this city to the ground, because it's the same old song and dance that the Red Sox pose every single year when it comes to a big free agent, someone that people truly love. This isn't someone, as much as we loved Kyle Schwarber while he was here that short time, this isn't Kyle Schwarber who was here for a few months. This is Xander Bogaerts, who's been here his entire career. And you're going to let him walk, just like you let Mookie Betts walk, just like you traded away John Lester. And yes, this wasn't Chaim Bloom. I understand there was different people in the front office, from John Lester to Mookie Betts. But from Mookie Betts to Xander Bogaerts, it's the same crop of guys. And there's a lot of finger pointing. There's a lot of blame going around to be had. And Sam Kennedy's the one out there taking all the questions, taking all the heat. And that's part of his job, 100%. But you can't go out there and say, we don't know if we'll have the chance to match the outside offers. That's on you. That's a problem if you already don't know, if you can't do that. Because to me, that does not scream optimism. That screams, we lowballed him, we screwed him over, we disrespected him, and he's going to go and take the biggest offer, which Xander Bogaerts absolutely should. He should take the offer that's best for him, that's best for his family, and the best offer on the table. And this, if it's not from the Red Sox, we know it's not because Xander Bogaerts doesn't want to be here. It's because the Red Sox fans know that they disrespected him in their offer. So this is the worst I've felt about potentially Bogaerts coming back. I'm an optimist at heart. I like to see the bright side. And after today, I don't think I do anymore, at least for now. That could very well change after I record this episode, after this is published Thursday morning. It could change at the drop of a hat. We know that. But right now at 5:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm not feeling too good. And it's all because Sam Kennedy said, I don't know if we can match the outside offers. Because you absolutely 100% can. Don't tell your fans that, because that's a crock of you know what. Coming up in our second segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast, probably not going to make fans any happier, but we will talk about Jose Abreu and how Boston allegedly was his number one spot to come to in the offseason, but we know that he signed with the Astros. I'll tell you all about that and more as soon as I tell you about BetOnline, because betonline.net is your number one source for your betting sports info, stats, news, and analysis. You can get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. There's football. Patriots and Bills play a big game Thursday night. There's basketball. The Celtics play a fun game Wednesday. Hopefully they can keep these wins coming. To soccer, the World Cup is in full swing. Esports, we've got it all at betonline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, which you probably do if you're listening to Locked On Red Sox or Locked On anything for that matter, you can find those as well as at BetOnline. They're always the fastest and the easiest way to get that betting fix. You can head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and all the action. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. So Jose Abreu was a very intriguing option to come to the Red Sox this offseason. The Athletic's Chad Jennings, who was on our show last week, mentioned that to us. He also wrote a great article about just how much of a good fit he would be. And I was completely sold, which meant the Red Sox absolutely were not sold on Jose Abreu. And it appears that they were not. He signed a 3-year deal with the Astros this week. And MLB Network's John Heyman reported that Boston was Abreu's first choice, which, much like all this Bogaerts stuff, did not sit well with Red Sox fans because it just continues that whole interest kings narrative that they've had for so long now, because it's always, oh, the Red Sox were interested in XYZ. But insert excuse here, which is usually has to do with money. We've seen this time and time again. And here we are, a player who wants to come here, who wants to be part of this organization. Sounds like Bogaerts too. And who would, without a doubt, make this team better, slips away. 9 years ago, the Red Sox were outbid by the White Sox on a 6-year deal for Abreu, and now they're losing out to the Astros. So again, Red Sox fans are watching teams in the AL get a lot better. And they're already good teams. These teams are already very good. And then you have the Rays, who are reportedly interested in Jacob deGrom. I doubt he goes to the Rays, but the Red Sox aren't even going to look at him or Justin Verlander. So it's just like, what are we doing? The question of the offseason, what are the Red Sox doing? Jose Abreu finished 2022 with a batting .304, .378 on-base percentage, and a .446 slugging percentage for the White Sox last season. He would have been a great organizational fit. He would have been really good for this lineup for a number of ways. He did have a career low 15 home runs last year, but you know, that's okay, because he was regularly hitting the cover off the ball. He was smoking the ball. He was hitting for contact. He was hitting for power. Plate discipline, check. Power, check. Can play first base, check. Would it require a deal of $100 million? Check. But no, the Red Sox did not do it. His deal with the Astros is 3 years. It's worth almost $60 million. So it's just shy of $20 million a year. So yes, that's a lot of money for Abreu. And yes, this money needs to go elsewhere. But if there is, in the Red Sox minds, no shot of signing Xander Bogaerts, go out and get him. Spend the money, because you know in your mind Bogaerts isn't coming back. Why are you stringing the Red Sox fans along and letting other valuable free agents slip away? There still are other people on the free agent market who could kind of fill what Jose Abreu did. Justin Turner, Josh Bell, Trey Mancini. You can also still re-sign JD Martinez, maybe Mitch Haniger, but these aren't names that, maybe besides Trey Mancini and JD Martinez, I don't know if Red Sox fans really want them. I don't know if Red Sox fans really want JD Martinez back. Yes, he did have a down year last year, but he's been great for this organization. If you can bring him back on a 1-year deal, if he's your last resort, it just makes you wonder, what in the world are the Red Sox doing? And I've said that this will be a busy offseason for the Red Sox, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. As of November 30th, putting this episode out on December 1st, doesn't really sound like it's going in a good direction. It's going to be a very, very angry episode if this turns into Bogaerts going elsewhere. just because now with Sam Kennedy's latest comments, it's looking like it's making me feel like he's not going to come back. And if they knew that this whole time, and you're going to let players like Jose Abreu slip through the cracks, and again, somebody who wanted to be here, I just have to ask, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? You're raising ticket prices on your fans. You're pissing your fans off even more. And these fans are loyal. Red Sox fans are very, very, very loyal. And they will stay loyal, but there's only so many times you can screw them over, send away their favorite players. And yes, this is a business at the end of the day. There's always going to be people who support the Red Sox no matter what. There's always going to be new players that come in. There's always going to be new favorites. But is there going to be another Xander Bogaerts? And in terms of like stat wise, probably. There's a lot of shortstops out there, and there are shortstops, yes, defensively better than him. You can go through all these analytics. But what he brings to this team in terms of not just his power, not just his defensive abilities, not just his ability to play shortstop, which you haven't had a shortstop since Bogaerts in a very long time, someone who's very stable at that position. Don't let that slip away. And if he does slip away, are you going to go out and sign Trey Turner, Carlos Correa? Probably not. You'll probably show interest. Sure, always do. But I digress. Jose Abreu is going to the Astros. He's going to be great for that lineup. Again, this lineup is very deep, but there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Red Sox right now. We don't know a whole lot, but what we do know is that Jose Abreu is not coming to Boston. We have one more segment here on the Locked On Red Sox podcast. As always, we'll end this on the Mental Health Minute. For this Mental Health Minute, I'm going to talk really quick about hockey. I know I make a lot of hockey references on here. I know this is a baseball podcast, but on Wednesday, the Pittsburgh Penguins announced that Chris Letang will be out indefinitely because he suffered a stroke. He's only 35 years old. This is his second stroke. He had one back in 2014. So just a very scary time. Fortunately, he is okay. Letang did release a statement through the Penguins saying that he's confident he'll be back on the ice soon, which is great news. But the important thing is just for him to be 100%, 110% ready to be back on the ice with his team. I always look forward to seeing him and watching him play when the Penguins play the Bruins. I think he's I think he's a great player. I think he's a very good guy. He's one of the good guys in the NHL. Not many bad guys in the NHL, but he's a really good person. He's just somebody who does so much for the team and the community of Pittsburgh. And to see this happen again is just really unfortunate. The Penguins do play the Bruins in the Winter Classic on January 2nd. I'm going with my husband. And again, it's just, I look forward to seeing him, Malkin, Crosby, just those three guys right there, just Pittsburgh legends, it seems like. But if he's not there, it is okay. I want him to take care of himself, take care of his mental health, his physical health, and make sure that if he does return this year, like I said, he's 110% ready, because your health is just not worth risking it for your job, even though that's easier said than done. But just wanted to send love, good vibes, and all to the Letang family. Like I said, he's one of the good guys. I really have enjoyed watching him over the years, and only 35 years old. So hopefully he makes a full and speedy recovery, sending him all the love. And I also just wanted to shout out my co-host Jake once again. Wednesday was his final day with the Massachusetts Pirates, as I said in the beginning. So just shout out to him. He did such great work with them this last season. He worked his tail off. He wore many hats. He was the sideline reporter. He did his own video. He edited social media. He was making TikToks, and he just really tried to grow that team, the arena football team here in Massachusetts, as much as he could. And he did a killer job. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so excited to see where he goes next in this crazy world of sports. And I'm so excited to talk to him more about it on our next episode of the Locked On Red Sox podcast. But thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Locked On Red Sox right here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Wherever you get your podcast is where you can find us. Find us on Twitter if you want to yell with us about Xander Bogaerts, about Jose Abreu, about the Red Sox and being interest kings at LO_Red Sox. Find Jake at Jake Iggy, and then me, Lauren, 3 laws, Lauren with 4 R's. Don't forget about all the other Locked On shows across the network. Locked On Yankees, what's going to happen with Aaron Judge? Locked On Phillies, are they going to sign Bogaerts? Locked On Padres, are they going to sign Bogaerts? I could go down the list and be like, who's going to sign Bogaerts? But check out all the other shows across the Locked On network. Everyone does such a great job bringing you baseball content Monday through Friday, especially in the off season. And now that you've made Locked On Red Sox your first listen, head on over to Locked On Sports today to make it listen number 2. From the games that matter the most to the biggest storylines in sports, you can go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts that only Locked On can provide. That's Locked On Sports Today, available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, just like Locked On Red Sox. Wherever you get your podcast is where you can find them as well. Be sure to come back tomorrow. We have another exciting episode for you. We will be talking to a Red Sox prospect. So do not miss Friday's episode. Until then, hopefully there's no bad news on Xander Bogaerts, because no news is good news. And we just want to get through the next couple days with some good news. I think that's what Red Sox fans deserve. Until next time, we're going to end this show how we always do. Let's go Red Sox.